மௌனமாமுரையார் காட்டும் மாபிரம்மவத்தூவாலன் சிவநிலை தவசற்சீடர் செரிகுருவரன் சிற்கையன் உவகையோருருவன் தன்னுள் உவப்பவன் கழிமூகத்தன் அவனையான் தென்பான் மூர்த்தி அப்பனை ஏத்துவோமே அவனையான் தென்பான் மூர்த்தி அப்பனை ஏத்துவோமே. மங்கள ஸ்லோகா. ஆன்மாவின் போதமருள் ஆசா சங்கரனோ போதமருள் ஆசானாம் சங்கரன் ஆன்மாவு கண்ணியன் ஆவனோ ஆன்மாவாய் என்னகத்தே இருந்தின்று தமிழ் சொல்வானும் அன்னவ நன்றி மற்றார். We shall read from the verse 12 we will read. கலந்த பெருமை பூத காரியமாகும் கலந்த வினை சார்ந்த கலமாம் கலக்கும் இடரின்பபோகம் எவையும் புசித்தற்கு இடமே உடலென்றிரு வாயுக்களைந்தும் மனபுத்தி ஈரைந்தாய் ஏயும் கருவிகள் ஏய்ந்த நுண் காயம் கலவாத நுண்பூத காரியமாம்போகத்து உலவாத சாதனமாமோர் ஆதியற்றிற்றன் அரையவனா அஞ்ஞான ஓதுவராதி உபாதியாய் ஓதும் உபாதிகளாமூன்றுடல்களின் வேராய் உபாதியில் ஆன்மாவை கோசங்களைந்தும் முதற் கூட்டுறவால் ஆன்மாவும் கோசங்களைந்து முதற் கூட்டுறவாம் ஆன்மாவும் மாசிலதே ஆயினும் அவ்வமயனே அம்மயனே ரேசருவு நீலபடாதி கலப்பால் நிர்மலமாம் படிகம் போலவே ஒட்டா பொருள் உடற் பஞ்சகோஷ உமியாதி ஓடுள் சுடர் பரிசுத்த ஆன்மாவை திடமான உத்தியினால் குத்தி ஒழித்தவற்றை அரிசி ஒத்தறிய வேண்டும் உணர். So yesterday we saw Adi Shankara Bhagwan explaining what is this body, that is the gross body, what is the subtle body, and what is the causal body, and how Atma is distinctly different from all three bodies. At the same time, we misunderstand the dharma of the body mind to be our dharma, and we suffer. Like the spadikam by itself, it is very pure. But when a blue cloth or whatever cloth is placed in front, then it takes that color. Meaning it appears to be blue. But even if it is appearing to be blue, actually it is colorless one. Because the color of the cloth is superimposed on the crystal. Similarly, the dharma of the body mind is superimposed on the self, and the self appears to be with those dharmas like old, young, happy, sad, etc. We saw yesterday. So now what has to be done now? Now with the logic and reasoning, we have to separate, as if separating the husk and the rice from the husk. We have to separate the Atma from all these koshas, all these three bodies, and we have to realize it in our own self. So this is a very scientific approach. Atma, the self, is covered by the three bodies. The three bodies are limiting adjuncts, it is called as. That is called as Upadhi. So it is covering Atma, the self. So we have to remove one by one or transcend one by one, and we have to arrive at the true Atma, the self. Dehatma bhavam parihritya durat Atmanamatmanyavalokayantah Aharnisham brahmaniye ramantah Kaupinavantak kalubhagyavantah. So we have to give up this body identification, and we have to see the Atma only in Atma, the self, not in anything else. That is how you abide in Atma always, day and night. And such Mahatma is a blessed one. Kaupinavantak kalubhagyavantah. So with the logic and reasoning, we have to separate through discriminative faculty. We have to separate these koshas or these three bodies and understand that these three bodies are not Atma, the self. And the real self is the self. All these things are only the covering, the limiting adjuncts, upadhis. If we don't understand this way, we always take the dharma or the qualities of the body or the mind to be the selves. And that is how we get confused and we suffer in this world. The self will never become old, the self will never die. But the body goes through its modification. But we consider ourselves to be the body, therefore I am growing old, or I am sort of deteriorating and I am going to die, all those. And the mind's dharma is sukha dukkha, joy and sorrow. But we think I am happy, I am sorrow. We are unable to distinguish the mind from the self, or the self from the mind. And we superimpose or take the dharma of the mind on our own self and say I am happy, I am sad. The self is not happy or sad. The mind feels all those emotions. And because of our association, we confuse ourselves. And we say, I am happy, I am sad. Similarly, buddhi knows everything. And we take that dharma on us and we say, I am intelligent, I am stupid. But the self is never intelligent, not stupid. Self is a pure knowledge which illumines the knowledge and the ignorance, everything. So like that we take the dharma of the upadhis onto ourselves, anatma vastu on the atma, the self. And that is why we suffer the life of samsara. So through proper discrimination, Adi Shankara says, like separating the rice from the husk. By pounding we separate now. Like that, through the vicharam or the right thinking, discriminative thinking, we have to separate all these koshas or the three bodies from the Atma, the self, and we have to realize the Atma, the self, in its true form. Right? This is how Acharya Adi Shankara is guiding now. Okay, we shall move on to the next verse, 17th verse. எங்குமே என்றும் இருப்பினும் ஆன்மாவும் எங்குமே ஆன்மா விலகலிலை துங்கமாம் புத்தியிலேயே பொழியுநிழல் சொச்சமாம் வத்துவில் தோன்றும் வகை எங்குமே என்றும் இருப்பினும் ஆன்மாவும் எங்குமே ஆன்மா இலகலிலை துங்கமாம் புத்தியிலேயே பொழியுநிழல் சொச்சமாம் வத்துவில் தோன்றும் வகை எங்குமே என்றும் இருப்பினும் ஆன்மாவும். This Anma, the self, is there everywhere, all pervading, and it is ever present in all the periods of time, in all avasthas. That is why it is called as the truth, Satyam. Why it is Satyam? It is always present, and it is all pervading, meaning it is everywhere. There is no place or any particular location where it is not there. It is all pervading and is always present every time, all the time. But still, எங்குமே என்றும் இருப்பினும் ஆன்மாவும் எங்குமே ஆன்மா இலகலில்லை. But the Anma is not shining or expressing explicitly in all these places. An example given by Gurudev Swami Chinmayanand. If you go to the cow, milk yielding cow, if you want the milk, you should only go to the udder. Though it is there all over. The essence of the cow is the milk. So you can go and you can milk only in the udder. Similarly, this Atma, the self, also everywhere, but to realize this Atma, the self, it is not available everywhere. That is what he is trying to point out. எங்குமே ஆன்மா இலகலில்லை. Ilahalille means it is not shining everywhere actually. Though Anma is present everywhere, it is not shining everywhere. Then, Tungamam Buddhileye Poliyum. It is available for our experience only in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, in the Buddhi. Tungama means in the very sharp intellect it is available. Meaning what? It expresses as the Chit Chaya, as a reflected consciousness in the Buddhi. That is one way of seeing it. Other thing is only through the sharpened intellect you can get a glimpse of it, at least the reflected consciousness. It is not available anywhere else. If you go out and search, it is not available. It is available within ourselves in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, means in the Buddhi, as the intelligence, meaning it is shining as the reflected consciousness, the intelligence. So though the Atma, the self, is available everywhere, it is not available for us to comprehend or to realize everywhere. It is only available in the Buddhi, in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Madikul Olirum. Madikolidandu Madikul Olirum. That is what we have seen in the Ulladinarpad. Madikku Olidandu. That is giving the light for the mind to function. Madikul Olirum is always reflected in the Buddhi, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Madinai Ulle Madakki, Padiyil Padithidudal Andri, Padiyai Madiyal Madithidudal Lengan Madi. The most beautiful words. So therefore, it is available in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Why like that? An analogy is given. What is analogy? Nidal Chochamam Battuvil Tondrum Vahai. How? See, if you walk anywhere, actually your Pratibimbam, your reflection should be seen. Is it seen? No. It is seen only in the polished surface, like mirror. See, when we walk, actually our reflection should be seen now. Why it is seen only in the mirror? Because it's a very polished surface where the Pratibimbam can be seen. That is what it said. Chochamam Battuvir Tondrum Vahai. Nidal. Nidal means our reflection. See, Nidal means not the shadow here. Nidal means the reflection is seen. Chochamam Battuvil means what? Which is very shining, polished, like a mirror. Adil Tondrum Vahai. That is appearing only there in the polished surface, like the mirror. It is not available in the rough surface. Even the mirror, when it not polished properly, sometimes, in some houses it is very old, rusted, and you don't see properly your face also. In the village house, old houses and all, still they keep the same mirror for 50, 60, 90, 100 years. You don't see anything. So only in the polished mirror, the reflection is seen. Similarly, only in the Buddhi, the self or the light of consciousness is reflected and it is available for her comprehension there only. Nyayamapata, the reflection should be everywhere, but it is not so. It is not in the rough surfaces, in the rocky surfaces. It is only in the polished surfaces. Similarly, though the Atma, the self, is everywhere, please understand it's not available everywhere for our realization or apprehension. It is expressing as the reflected light only in the Buddhi, Vijnanamaya Kosha. There you can apprehend with your Sukshma Buddhi, with your subtle intellect, this light of consciousness. But there also, you can have the glimpse of the reflected consciousness. Meaning what? When you see the face in the mirror, it is similar to our original face now. It cannot be different. When the mirror is a perfect mirror, whatever you see in the mirror is your own face only. But you are seeing only the reflected face. You cannot see your face. You cannot see your face. Is that not so? You can see everybody's face, but you cannot see your face. Have you ever tried to see your face? We can see only the reflected face in the mirror. Similarly, self cannot be seen. Only the reflection of the self, which is available in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, can be comprehended with the Sukshma Vritti. That is called as Brahmakara Vritti or Akantakara Vritti. With that, you can only grasp that. But it is as good as similar to the Atma only. And then there you drop that also and you can abide there. It is not knowing, it is being. You understand? It is being. Why? It is known by itself. It is not knowing through any instrument. By itself it is known because it is Satchit Swarupam. Irundu olirhindrathu adoda Swarupam. Satchit Swarupam. So that is what is said in this words. Atma can be comprehended only in the Buddhi, with the help of the Buddhi, in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. So when you come to Adi Shankara, he is a scientist like. He is Atma Vijnani. So he is very precise in his expression. He is very scientific in his approach. That is why he is glorified like that. Nobody can equal him in the brilliance of the intellect. Such is our Adi Guru, Shankara. He is Parameshwara himself. He is avatar of Parameshwara himself. Udal karuvi ullam odu buddhi mayai Vidaveravachin virutti Udane Evaikkume Satchiyam Endrum Anmavai Avaikarasan Pola Hari Udal Garuvi Ullam Odu Buddhi Mayai Vidaveravachin virutti Udane Evaikkume Satchiyam Endrum Anmavai Avaikarasan Pola Hari Udal, the Deha. Karuvi means here Indriyangal, Indriyas, the sense organs, yeah. Ullam, the mind. Odu Buddhi, the intellect. And Maya. Maya means the avidya. That is called as Maya here. Mayai Avatrin Viruttiyudane. See, Mayai Vidaveru Avatrin Viruttiyudane. Vidaveru means what? This Atma, the self, is distinctly different from. Vidaveru. Veru means different. So it is different from the body, the senses, the mind and the buddhi, and even the avidya. It is distinctly different. Vidaveru Avatrin Viruttiyudane Evaikkume Satchiyam Endrum Anma. So it is distinctly different from the body, the senses, the mind, the buddhi and all. Not only that, Avatrin Viruttiyudane, meaning what? Whatever may be the functions of these body, mind. Evaikkume Satchiya Endrum Anma Ulladu. This Anma is not involved in any activities of this body, mind. Body, senses and mind. It is just the Sakshi. Sakshi means what? It is just observing, watching, not involved. It is just giving its light, illuminating everything, but it is not involved with the activities of the body, mind. Therefore, it is not affected by the activities of the body, mind. It is just a Sakshi Matra. See, in the court, who is called as a witness? Witness means what? Witness means what? He is not the murderer. Or he is not the murdered. He is the one who has seen the murder. Witness. He is not involved in the murder. If he has been murdered, he cannot be a witness. And if he is a murderer, he will not come as a witness. So he is the one who has seen the murder, but not involved in the murder. He is the witness. Similarly, the Atma, the self, is not involved in any of the activities, or is not affected by any of the activities. It is just the Sakshi Matram. But without Atma, the self, nothing can happen. Only with its light, everything is functioning. See the glory. But it is not involved. It is just a Sakshi. Like what? Avaikarasan polari Anmavai Evaikkume Satchiyam Endrum Anmavai Avaikarasan polari. Like the king who is in his darbar, or who is watching, let us say, a drama or a show. How is he? He is not organizing actually the show. He is not running here and there trying to organize something. And whatever happens to the drama, he is not affected. But only in his patronage the drama is conducted. But there he is only watching the drama. He is not acting in the drama. Or if somebody applauds or criticizes, he is not affected because he has not created that, or he is not acting in it. But because of his patronage, the drama is happening. Without the king, the drama cannot happen there. In that august, in the great hall, the drama cannot happen. Because of king's grace and blessings, the drama is happening. But king is not involved in acting or directing the drama. He is just watching the drama. If somebody applauds, king is not elated. Or if somebody criticizes, king is not saddened. Or he will not get angry also. He is just watching the drama. He is the onlooker. Similarly, the self is not involved with the senses or the mind, and it is not affected by the results of the action of the body, senses and mind. It is just the witnessing consciousness. At the same time, without that witnessing consciousness, nothing can happen. This is what is apt. See, the analogies are apt. This is the brilliance of Adi Shankara. See, every verse there is an analogy. See, you can do a research and write a thesis only on that. Adi Shankara's handling of beautiful analogies in Atma Bodha. So beautiful. So Avaikarasan polar, this Atma is like Avaikarasan. He is like the king. So he is distinctly different from the Deha, Indriya, Mana Buddhi. And he is not involved in activities also. And he is not affected by all the activities also. But without him, no activities can happen. He is just the witness. This is what we have to understand. So if the doer, the ahankari, if he has done something wrong, that sin will not come to the self. If he has done something very good, that merit will not come to Atma, the self. That will go only to the doer. That is the ego sense, the personality. And who suffers? The ego suffers. We think we are that ego sense, that personality. But we are not that. We are the self. Like in the Mundaka Upanishad, in the tree, there are two birds. One in the lower branch, always perching. That is ego sense. And it is happy or very sad. Sukha, dukkha. But the bird in the upper branch, he is a sakshi. Anashnan, it is not eating. It is just observing, it is not eating. Therefore, it is very serene, peaceful. It is not perching, means it is not eating anything. Therefore, it is serene. So, the real self is not involved in anything. He is not neither the doer nor the enjoyer. It is not doing anything, achieving anything, or it is not enjoying sukha dukkha, the success or anything. என்ன சுவாமிஜி ஒரு மண்ணு போல அந்த ஆத்மா ஒண்ணுமே இல்லையா அது எதுவும் செய்யாது எதையும் அனுபவிக்காது இது என்னது இது ஷீ I want a spicy Atma. I am an Andhra fellow, I want a spicy Atma, which is hot. This Atma, no salt, no nothing. ஒண்ணுமே செய்யாது எதையும் அனுபவிக்காது சும்மா இருக்குமா. What is this Atma? But this is Atma, which is all bliss. All this time, some people were a little sleepy. Andhra Manshana Polson, they were all awake. And what is that? What is that? So this Atma is just there. In his presence, everything is happening. He is not involved in anything. But without Atma, the self, nothing can happen. If all this is gone, then also Atma is there shining. When everything comes and if it dances in front of the Atma also, it is just there illuminating everything. It is not affected by anything. That is Atma, the self. That is our true nature. And when you stay like that, that is bliss. அப்படிப்பட்ட bliss எனக்கு வேண்டாம். இது என்னது புச்சப்பில்லாத bliss. I want some action. I want some thrill. I want applause. Means I am a Rajasic fellow. I want always applause. I want always attention. Attention seeking. But Atma, the self, is prashantam. You understand the idea? So, moving on to the next words. This is also a beautiful word. See, Adi Shankara is brilliant. கருவிகளின் தொழில் கண்ட அவிவேகி கருத்தன் போல் ஆன்மாவை காண்பன் துரிதமாய் ஓடுமே கங்கன் உணர்விழி சந்திரனே ஓடுகிறான் என்பதை ஒத்து கருவிகளின் தொழில் கண்ட அவிவேகி கருத்தன் போல் ஆன்மாவை காண்பன் துரிதமாய் ஓடுமே கங்கன் உணர்விழி சந்திரனே ஓடுகிறான் என்பதை ஒத்து கருவிகளின் தொழில் கண்ட அவிவேகி. Aviveki means what? A non-discriminating idiot. Aviveki. That is we are all. Don't think somebody else. He is talking about us. In Bhaja Govindam, when he says, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, we think he is calling somebody as Mudhamate. No, he is calling us Mudhamate. Oh idiot, he is calling us. So, Aviveki, this non-discriminative fool, Karuvigalin Tolil Kandu. Karuvigal means what? The body, the senses and the mind, and also the buddhi, they are Karuvigal. They are functioning. Tolil Kandu, seeing their actions, activities, Karuttan Pondra Anmavai Kanban. He thinks the Anma, the self, is the Karuttan. He is doing everything. Because we are identified with the body mind. When the hands and legs are doing something, since we identify with the body, we say, I am doing. Since we are so much identified with the mind and the buddhi, we think, I am thinking, I am taking the decision, I am executing, I am smart, I am dynamic. Atma is not smart. Atma is not dumb also. Atma is not dynamic. Atma is not dull also. Atma is. But because of the smartness or the guna of the body mind, the Karvi Karanadikal, they are functioning in the world. And the Aviveki, the non-discriminatory, the person, he thinks, I am the doer. Meaning the self is doing everything. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham idi manyate. Krishna says in Gita. Vimudhatma, this idiot, this stupid fellow, Ahankara vimudhatma, he is full of arrogance and ego now. He says, I am the doer. Kartaham idi manyate. He wants everybody to appreciate that also, his stupidity. But actually who is doing? The body, the mind is doing. Because of the vasanas. Accordingly, the body and mind is functioning in the world. Actually, we are choiceless. Why we are choiceless? According to our vasana, we will live in this world. And we think, I am the doer, the self is doing everything. Because we identify with the body mind. When the body mind performs some action, I think I am the doer, I am performing. See? So when something comes to the results come to the body mind or the ego self, we think it affects me. We live only as ego self. We do not know our real self. That is the tragedy of our life. Like what? Duridamai odume kangan. The megam, the clouds are moving very fast. See, sometimes when you see the sky in the night, Duridamai means very fast. Odume kangan. Kangan means clouds. Unarvili means the mind, the person with dumb or dull mind, Arivili, Unarvili, Sandirane odihiran enbadai ottu. He says, the moon is moving. Moon is moving fast. See, actually when you see only the moon is moving actually. In the night if you see in the sky, sometimes you see the moon moving very fast. And you say, oh, moon is moving very fast. If the moon moves that much fast, it will disappear somewhere. I'm just joking. Anyway, it cannot move that way. Now what is happening? The clouds are moving, but that is superimposed on the moon. And we feel the moon is moving. Is that not so? For the aviveki, unarvili, who is not having right discrimination, right thinking capacity, that is unarvili, who is not having right thinking capacity. For him, the moon is moving, or the moon is moving very fast. Are Buddhu, moon is not moving, the clouds are moving. The movement of the cloud is superimposed on the moon. Similarly, the movement of the Karuvi Karanadigal, the body, the mind, etc., is superimposed on the self. And we see, I am the doer, I am doing. When we can discriminate and say, I am just the witness, I am not the doer, not the enjoyer, then you are with the self. When you say, I am the doer and enjoyer, you are in the ego sense only. Like if you travel in the train also, train moves very fast. You see all the posts, going very fast. They are moving very fast. Everything moving very fast. Outside if you see, the movement of the train is superimposed on all those inert, static objects. And we see actually with our own eyes, that everything is moving. Very fast it's moving. Alas, we are moving. The train is moving. So the movement of the train is superimposed on the post and all the other inert objects, static objects there. Similarly, the movement of the mind, the body and the mind is superimposed on the self, and he thinks the self is functioning in the world outside. And whatever comes as the result of the action, he feels the self is enjoying. Actually, our true self is something else. Not what we know. We know only the ego self. From the birth onwards till the death, we don't know about our true self. We know only the ego self, which is false and which is out of unholy wedding between the matter and the spirit, Gurudev says. Unholy wedding between the matter and the spirit, that is this ego sense. It neither belongs to this matter or to the spirit. It is a kichadi of matter and spirit that cannot come together, because matter is jhada, it's a different dimension. Spirit is truth, it is in different dimension. This can never come together, but somehow through some mysterious power, as if it has come together. That is why it is an unholy wedding between the matter and the spirit. Chichada Granthi. And we feel we are that, and we suffer throughout. But if we are discriminative, we feel guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjate. Bhagavad Gita says, guna guneshu vartante. Meaning because of the gunas of this mind and buddhi, according to the vasanas, guneshu vartante, it goes accordingly in the world towards those objects which have the similar gunas. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. He will not be affected. That is why when the jnani is acting in the world outside, he doesn't feel he is acting. Even though his hands and legs are functioning in the world outside, his heart is absorbed in the Paramatma. Therefore, he feels he has not done anything. Akarta, abhokta. That is why when Durvasa said, I have not eaten anything, it is true. Because the body and the mind, it is involved in the eating. I am not. So the jnani knows very clearly that he is akarta, abhokta. Only the senses, the mind, everything is functioning in the world. And I have nothing to do with it. How it is functioning? According to its prarabdha or vasanas. And I have nothing to do with it. I am just observing and watching. Oh my God, what a stand, huh? We can take up this stand. Nothing can touch us. Swamiji, I can take this stand all the time. But when it comes to my own son, my own daughter, I am clean bowled. Because there the association is very strong. There we fall. Adallam sari Swamiji, but you know what? This has happened to my son. This has happened to my daughter. This has happened to my grandchild. Still worse. Grandchildren are still worse. Maya in human form. They say, I am a Vedanti. For me, nothing. Papom, kuழந்தை பேர குழந்தை பிறக்கட்டும், பேத்தி பிறக்கட்டும், பாப்போம். When the child comes with laugh, smiling, running, this old person is clean bowled. What Maya, what a Vedantam, adallam chumma. This is truth. And she hugs the child. So, that identification is difficult to drop. Because so much of association, so strong and deep. See, another example. Let us say a middle class or a higher middle class person has bought a very posh car, let us say. It is beyond his means. But means stretching himself so much, he has bought the car, let us say. Right? And every day he worships the car. He cleans the car and everything is tip top. And he will not allow anybody to touch the car. He only drives. Or maximum he'll have a very good driver to drive. Let us say he has parked somewhere and has gone somewhere to the temple or somewhere. When he comes back and he finds a scratch. The scratch is not on the car, it is in his heart. Ayyo! Ayyo! Meaning he was totally identified with the car. All these days he was identified only with the body. Now, the car is his Atma. If there is a scratch in the car, ayyo! It will cost 50,000. 50,000. That is my 1 year's salary. Then why did you buy that car? Asa. So he so much identifies with the car, he cannot accept anything happening to the car. He is a bekar. Something happened to my child. I cannot take it. I cannot take it. Heart attack. Why? I so much identify my child. My child is my Atma. I am my child. Something happens to child. If something happens to my wife, that's okay. So we identify so much that we cannot discriminate and say this is different, I am different. Similarly, we identify so much with this body-mind and we say, I am this. And whatever the body-mind performs the world, action in the world outside, I am the doer. Whatever enjoyment the body-mind is enjoying, I am the enjoyer. And we suffer. Why to me? We say. But as a self, nothing to me. Can we live like this? Is it possible? Yes. The Mahatmas have lived this way and they have shown us. Like Bhagavan Shri Ramana Maharshi and all, he lived that way only. He had cancer. Yes. He was having pain. Yes. But he could remain as a Sakshi also. Vandadallam poyidum sonar. As it has come, it will go, he said. So people thought, oh, this cancer is going to go, they thought. But he was mentioning about the body. As it has come, it will go away. That is the truth now. It is another experience illuminated by the consciousness. And it has nothing to do with me. That is the exalted standpoint they can take. Not standpoint, that is their experience. That is their abidance. That is their life. So therefore, this Aviveki, when he sees the moon, he sees moon running. But actually, which is running? The clouds are running. Akarmani karmayaha pashyet. Karmani cha akarmayaha. Sa buddhiman manusheshu. Akarmani karmayaha pashyet. In non-action, he sees the action. In the action, he sees the non-action. When the body and mind is acting, he sees the self is not acting. Therefore, non-action only. If nothing is acting also, if the vasanas are there, kundreri vidvar kuri. Do you remember? Kanavil, in the dream, even though the body is there in the bed, he climbs up the hill and he falls. Similarly, even if he is not doing, he is a doer. When he has got vasanas and identification with the body mind. If he is not identification, even if he is doing, he is not the doer. Don't you remember this? Anubandham. Kundreri vidvar kuri. Moving on. ஞான ஒளி ஆன்மாவை நன்னி உடல் பொறிகள் மானதம் புத்தி இவை மன்னுதமக்கு ஆன தொழில் ஆற்றிடுமாதித்தன் அவிரொழியான் மக்கள் தொழில் ஆற்றுவது போலும் அறி ஞான ஒளி ஆன்மாவை நன்னியுடல் பொறிகள் மானதம் புத்தி இவை மன்னுதமக்கு ஆன தொழில் ஆற்றிடுமாதித்தன் அவிரொழியால் மக்கள் தொழில் ஆற்றுவது போலும் அறி ஞான ஒளி ஆன்மாவை நன்னி உடல் பொறிகள் மானதம் புத்தி இவை மண்ணு தமக்கான தொழில் ஆற்றிடுமாம். What a language! What a chaste language! See, ஞான ஒளி ஆன்மாவை நன்னி, taking the light from the Atma, the self. ஞான ஒளி, Atma, which is of pure knowledge, pure consciousness. ஞான ஒளி ஆன்மாவை நன்னி, depending on or taking support, depending on that ஞான ஒளி ஆன்மா, உடல் பொறிகள், the body, the senses, மானதம் புத்தி, the mind and the buddhi, இவை மண்ணு தமக்கான தொழில் ஆற்றிடுமாம். They perform their respective actions in the world outside. We have seen, without the light of the consciousness, the eyes cannot see, the ears cannot hear, the mind cannot think or feel any emotions. Kannukku kannai. So, this is the eye of the eye. Kena Upanishad. So, Annukku kannai kannindri kanunai kanudu Arunachala. Correct. Aksharamannamalai. You are right. So, therefore, taking light from the Atma, the self, these senses and mind and everything, they perform action in the respective field. எப்படி how ஆதித்தன் அவிரொழியான் மக்கள் தொழில் ஆற்றுவது போல். Adityan means the sun. Aviroliyar, in his light, the people. See, those days when the sun, when it sets, people go back. In our village, when I was growing, my party and all, 7 o'clock is the maximum time. Ayo, irritate, come, eat. And we eat. And there was no television, there was nothing. Then what else to do? Sleep. So we had good sleep those days. So evening 7:30 onwards, next day morning 6 o'clock or 5:36, we were sleeping. We were very healthy actually. But you know, those elders, they get up by 3:34. See, we as young children, we were sleeping till 5:36. But beyond 5:30, they will not allow us to sleep also. Whether it is a vacation or whatever it is. But we can't also sleep now. When you go to sleep by 7:38, how can you sleep? And they get up by 4:30, very fresh. And then they take bath and do Sandhya Vandan and they do all the other things. So only with the sunrise, they are all activated. And they go and do in the field, here, there, they go and they strive. And when the sun sets, they come back even before that and then they rest. So when the sun rises, taking the support of the sunlight as if the people, they function in the world outside. So what is actually said? The sun has got no kartrutva abhimana. Sun is not feeling, I am pumping light. Because of that, these people are awake and they are doing their work. No. Sun, just because of his presence, his nature is light. Similarly, the Atma also never claims anything. By its presence, it is of the nature of light. So borrowing that light, senses in the mind, they perform their actions. If you go and ask sun, thank you my dear sun, because of your light only, I am able to do all this. Sun will say, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I was shining in my own glory. That's all. Similarly, Atma will say, what did I do? I was just shining. That's all. And also, because of the light of the sun, if a murder happens, sun will not feel bad. Because of my light, this murder happened. I am guilty, you know. I should not have done this. No. The sun is not affected. Whatever happens in the world, sun is not affected. If a marriage procession happens, if something auspicious happens, sun is not happy. Because of my light. See, Mangala Karyama nadakkudu. What Mangala Karyam? I don't know what's happening. I don't care. I shine in my own glory. Similarly, the self, it shines. Whatever happens. It doesn't affect the self. It doesn't claim anything. No sense of agency. Or it doesn't feel anything because it is not affected by the results. It is not involved. That is why it is called a Sakshi. That is our true self. So the body and the mind, they perform actions borrowing the light of consciousness according to the vasanas. Guna guneshu vartante iti madhvana sajjate. And the Atma, the self, is not in any way responsible for the action, or it will not be affected by the fruits of the action. So this fellow who is identified with the body mind, he thinks he is the doer and he is the enjoyer and he is false. The true self is what? Sakshi Matram. Here the example of the sun is given. Because sun has got no kartrutva abhimana. He is not having the idea that I am pumping light. In fact, I told you, the sun doesn't know what is light. Because he has not seen darkness. Since he has not seen darkness, he doesn't know what is light. If you ask him, if you tell him, thank you for your sunlight. What light? What are you talking? So, the Atma, the self also, it doesn't feel that it has done something. I have created this world. Atma will never proclaim. Because from the standpoint of Atma, there is no world. There is no world, there are no people. அப்போ ஆத்மாவுக்கு என்ன தெரியவே தெரியாதா? இவ்வளோ யார்கிட்ட பிரார்த்தனை பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன்? As Ishvara, he knows everything. Like as Jiva, we know something. As a Jiva, if he can know something, he is saying that Upadhi, Maya Upadhi, he knows everything. But as Brahman, it illuminates everything. Or meaning what? It just shines in its own glory. And taking light, the body, senses and mind, they perform action in the respective field. So, the self never claim anything for itself, or it never affected by any results. So that is our true self. Can we remain like that? No, we cannot remain. In short time I have done so much, so I am going to write my autobiography. This stupid fellow is writing autobiography. I have done this, I have done that. I was so buddhisali, I was so intelligent. What nonsense. And this has happened to me, that has happened to me. I was so hurt. And one fellow wrote, a cricketer, his book name is Hurt Retired. Hurt Retired. Why? He has to retire prematurely and he was so hurt. And so his book name is Hurt Retired. But all this is egos. That fellow who is identified with the body mind. But who am I really? Am I this ego? Give attention, find out. Am I this ego? Who is this ego? From where is he rising? What is he doing? Give attention. You find that there is no ego, there is only the self. When you reach there, you find you have nothing to do with anything. And you are not affected by anything. No karma, no palapala, and no going, no coming. That is the true self. How clear it is? So if you study Adi Shankara, Atma Bodha, Vivek Chudamani and all, my God, it's so beautiful. It's crystal clear. So that is the foundation we should have, I would always say, yes, Bhagavan is really beautiful, no doubt about that. But you should have Adi Shankara's foundation to know what it is. That way, hats off to Swami Chinmayananji, our Gurudev. He has taught us without compromising anything. He has taught us Adi Shankara, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, in the light of Adi Shankara. See, because we study only with Adi Shankara's Bhashya, commentary. So you get a solid foundation. So you can understand anybody then. Bhagavan you can understand, Nisargadatta you can understand, Osho you can understand, JK you can understand, anybody you can understand. See, there are only Vartha Jalam, Chumma. It is all Chumma, Vartha Jalam. Everything means the same. And yes, it is presented well sometimes. Yes, we have to appreciate that. But everything is the same only. They are talking Shastric language, traditional Shastric language they are talking. They are talking modern language. That is all. But all the ideas and concepts are there in our Upanishads, in our Shastras, Adi Shankara's, Advaita. Everything is there. See, these people are there, some people are there, very close devotees of Bhagavan. They criticize Adi Shankara and they say Adi Shankara is stupid, they say. Only Bhagavan. Bhagavan munadi yaar valla, pinadi yaar valla. How foolish they are. They say only Bhagavan. Adi Shankara also nothing. No, they are totally wrong. Adi Shankara is a giant, spiritual giant. He is a mastermind, brilliant. See, everybody has got a place. We should not deny anybody their place, Yes, Bhagavan was so great, no doubt about that. But since you have to glorify your Guru, how can you demean somebody else? Before Maharshi, nobody has realized the soul. Only Maharshi has realized. See, he himself has said, what he has said in the Mangala Venba, how beautiful. He says, Anmavin Bodhamarul Asanam Sangaranav, Anmavu Kanyan Avano, Anmava Yennagathe Yirundu Indru Tamil Solvanu, Annavan Andri Matrar. He himself is speaking through me, he says. He is a self, and self is shining in my heart. So, who else is speaking now in Tamil? That much he appreciates, he values Adi Shankara. When Bhagavan himself has translated Atma Bodham, Vivek Chudamani also has translated in prose, not in poetry. Vivek Chudamani has translated everything. Dakshina also he started commentary. One idiotic fellow, he came in between and he stopped it. It is not available for us. But he started writing commentary on Dakshinamurti. It would have been a wonderful treasure, but somehow we are unfortunate not to have it. So Bhagavan has done so much of Adi Shankara's works in Tamil. So how can you say that Adi Shankara is nothing? Some people are there, mad people are there. They call themselves as Ramanas, very, very intense devotees. But it is very sorry. If you think that nobody has realized before Bhagavan, how stupid it is. And what is the difference between a Christian missionary and these Mahatmas? Christian missionaries say, only Jesus saves. Everybody else shaves. How can you say that? It is nonsense. We have to respect our tradition, Guru Parampara. Adi Shankara is a very important link in our Guru Parampara actually. So, where are we? 20th. So, taking the light of the sun, the world functions in the world outside. The people function in the world outside. Similarly, borrowing the light of the consciousness, everything happens here. Right? So, we have not covered five words, only 4. That is 10 more minutes. It is 20:15, our target time.
20:30 we have to keep the time. 20:30 also.
But I cannot go on. I am a disciple of Swami Chinmayananji. I mean time. Wait, let me recollect the tune. See, after speaking, to recollect the tune takes some time. Give me some time. Deham porigal, tigal gunangal vilaigal. Ahumivai tuya Satchidanmavil. Mohatta Karpipar Sutta Gaganatil Neela Mudal. Karpital Pola Karudu. Deham Poridigal Gunangal Vinaigal. Ahumivai tuya Satchidanmavil. Mohatal Karpipar Sutta Gaganatil Neela Mudal. Karpital Pola Karudu. Deham, once again the body. Porigal, the sense. Tigal Gunangal, Vinaigal. Ahumivai Tuya Satchidanmavil Mohattar Karpipar. So the senses, the body, the senses, and you can include the mind also. Tigal Gunangal Vinaigal, their dharmas, Gunangal, and their actions. Vinaigal means actions. Ahumivai Tuya Satchidanmavil Mohattar Karpipar. So they are attributed to the self out of delusion, mohattal. The qualities, the gunas of the body and the mind, the senses and the mind, and the actions of the body and the mind is attributed to the self out of delusion. Like what? Like Gaganatil Neela Mudar Karpital Pola. Like in the sky, you imagine blueness, etc. Gaganatil means in the sky. Gaganatil Neela Mudar Karpital. Neela Mudar means blueness is imagined. How? Sky is not blue, you know that, na? You know? How do you know?
Due to ocean.
Not due to ocean is blue due to sky. He is saying sky is blue due to ocean. Okay, if there is no ocean, sky is not blue. Huh? Whatever may be the scientific reason, it appears to be blue. It is actually it is colorless. The sky, the space, the sky is colorless. But it appears to be blue. So the blueness is attributed to the sky by the deluded person. It is not actually blue. Similarly, all these gunas, all these qualities and all the functions of the senses and the mind is attributed to the self. See, I think in Vibgyor, Vibgyor, blue is scattered the most, I suppose. When it comes to through the prism, it is scattered the most. That is why it appears blue. That's what I heard somewhere. Maybe my physics teacher, somebody taught me, I suppose. I don't remember exactly now. So it is only an optical illusion. Illusion means what? It is not blue. The sky is not blue, but it appears to be blue. Similarly, the self is not functioning in the world, but appears to. How? The body and mind, they are only functioning. But it appears that self is functioning. You understand? So therefore, today, the whole day, the whole session, we have been talking about what? The self is distinctly different from the body, the senses, mind. And in any of the action of the body and mind and senses, the self is not involved. And whatever the body, mind, senses enjoy also, self doesn't get involved in any enjoyment also. It is just the sakshi, and that is our true self. When you abide the self, then you are free from all the actions, karma vinay, and the palapalam. So you remain serene always. And that is bliss. To remain the same serene, that is bliss. That is how we have to contemplate. Om Purnamadha Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. That's what. Tomorrow evening we have class from 4:15 to 5:15. That is an extra class. Otherwise, as usual only. Morning 6:45, 8, and late morning 11:15 to 12. And then the extra class is from 4:15 to 5:15 in the evening. And then the night 7 to 8, 8:15, according to the subject matter. Okay, thank you. So are you all feeling very tired?